Tomorrow, Friday, the 12th, something is going to happen that will make the heart of Sagittarius tremble in a way you never expected. Not a random message, not a small change in your day, but a moment marked by something sacred. As if God places his hand on your shoulder and whispers, "You've waited long enough." For so long, Sagittarius has smiled through pain, stayed strong in silence, and kept hoping even when no one else believed with you. But what is coming tomorrow is no longer a test. It is a reward. A piece of news so big, so beautiful, so unexpected, that it could bring you to tears of joy. In this video, I'll show you why Friday, the 12th, is a turning point on your spiritual path as a Sagittarius. What blessing is moving toward you as if the universe itself is pushing it in your direction, and why this moment is the exact promise your soul has been waiting for. And right now, before we go deeper, write in the comments, "I am ready to receive the sacred blessings coming to Sagittarius." Because when you say it, you're not only telling me, you're telling the universe that your heart is open, ready, and mature enough for the next chapter. And now, to understand why Sagittarius, more than any other sign, is being chosen at this moment, we have to look into the soul of this fire sign. The sign born to carry light into the dark. There is something unmistakable about the energy of Sagittarius. You are a spiritual child of the light. Not the blinding kind of light that overwhelms others, but the gentle, steady light that can guide someone through a night when the whole world feels dim. That light is your strength. And the reason it is sacred is because it did not come from luck. It came from the wounds that once made you believe you might not rise again. I have sat with countless birth charts, watched so many souls move through the cycles of their lives, and there is something I always see in Sagittarius. You cannot be defeated by a single pain. Pain may slow you down for a moment, but it has never stopped you. Even when your heart cracked, even when your faith shook, you were the last one standing on the battlefield of your life, not because you wanted to look strong, but because deep inside, you have always believed there is a reason to keep going. I believe that is a sacred choice God gives to special souls. He does not give the hardest challenges to the perfect ones. He gives them to the ones who can turn suffering into wisdom. And that is exactly who Sagittarius is. You don't only learn from what is good, you learn from loss, from heartbreak, from the nights when you had to hold yourself together because no one else heard the sound of your breaking. There is a kind of sacrifice Sagittarius never talks about, the silent kind. You give more than you receive. You lift others even when you're barely standing. You smile so the people you love won't worry. But the truth is, there have been nights when you came home, closed the door, and felt so tired you didn't even have the strength to cry. In those moments, you were never asking for someone to save you. You just wanted to be seen. What touches me most about Sagittarius is your silence. Inside that silence is a soul that never stops praying. A soul so persistent that the universe has no choice but to stop and listen. And that persistence is what carried you through storms that would terrify others. But somehow, you kept your inner light alive. Life does not reward the perfect. Life rewards the persistent. And if there is one sign that embodies persistence down to the bone, it is Sagittarius. Because no matter how many times the world has disappointed you, you continue to love. You continue to believe. You continue to open your heart. You never let pain turn you bitter. In fact, those wounds have made you deeper, softer, and kinder, and profoundly human. I want to say this clearly, so you can feel it with your whole heart. You've been healing yourself for far too long. So long that you sometimes forget. You also deserve to be healed by something, or someone, greater than you. And tomorrow, Friday the 12th, is the moment when the universe, not you, will step forward and place a hand on your shoulder. In that moment, you will understand that not every loneliness is meaningless. The nights you cried in silence, the sacrifices no one saw, the wounds you hid so well, all of them have been witnessed. Not by people, but by the divine presence guiding you. If you're watching this right now, pause for just a second and give your heart a gentle affirmation. Write in the comments, I open my heart to receive the blessing meant for Sagittarius. You're not writing for me. You're writing for your own soul. So the energy of healing can find you at the right place, at the right time. There is a truth many young astrologers hesitate to say out loud. Souls who are given great missions always begin their story in storms, not because they need to be punished, but because they need to be prepared. And Sagittarius is one of the very few souls born with the mission to open the way, the mission to find light where others only see darkness. I know there are days when you feel you've sacrificed too much. You love deeply, yet you're misunderstood. You give generously, yet you rarely receive the same in return. You stand behind others, lifting them up. But when you need a word of encouragement, all you hear is silence. And maybe you've wondered, why do I always have to be strong? Why am I the one who must heal myself again and again? If those thoughts have ever crossed your mind, you're not alone. Share it softly in the comments, because your story might touch another Sagittarius who's been carrying the same quiet ache. You're not perfect, but you are chosen. Not because you're the strongest, but because you have the rare ability to rise after every fall and still keep your kindness intact. And that is a quality so rare. The world can only bow to it. Your journey has never been easy, but you are still walking. And that is exactly what makes tomorrow more special than any ordinary day. Because not every day carries a message from the heavens. Not every day marks the movement of invisible doors. But tomorrow, Friday the 12th, is one of those days. Why is it so important? Why does it reach so deeply into the soul of Sagittarius? Why has everything you've endured led you to this exact moment? The answer lies in the movement of the sky. And in the next part, I'll show you something not everyone gets to hear. Why Friday, the 12th, becomes the bright turning point of Sagittarius's destiny. A day when wonderful news moves toward you faster than you think. Some days pass quietly, as light as a breath, but some days are marked by a special energy. An energy that makes your soul tremble before your mind even understands why. Friday, the 12th, is that kind of day. And the miracle lies in this. You Sagittarius, who has walked through enough storms to truly appreciate sunlight, are the one the sky is turning toward in that moment. You may not see it with your eyes, but the movements in the heavens have never been silent. The sun, the symbol of life, is moving toward Jupiter, the guardian of Sagittarius, in a harmony so perfect that a single touch between them can shift everything in your world. When these two lights merge, they create a window of destiny. And that window only opens during rare moments of the year. And tomorrow is one of those moments. I've always believed the universe never sends meaningless signals, especially when it happens on the 12th, the number of completeness, of cycles fulfilled, of a divine order quietly coming together. In American spiritual culture, the number 12 carries sacred meaning. 12 disciples, 12 months, 12 gates of heaven. It is a number that symbolizes not just endings, but beginnings clean, bright, and full of promise. When I think about Sagittarius stepping into this energy, I feel something gentle, yet profound. You're arriving at the end of an old chapter, not with exhaustion, but with the grace of someone who has grown from every wound they've carried. And so, Friday the 12th is not just a day of good news. It is the day you touch the true meaning of the journey you've walked. You might receive a message you never expected, a familiar call that suddenly carries a new possibility, an email that opens a door you've been patiently waiting to walk through, or a spiritual confirmation that makes your heart feel lighter in a way words can't describe. Sometimes, good news isn't something huge. Sometimes, good news is simply the moment you finally feel seen. And for Sagittarius, that alone is enough to turn an ordinary day into something sacred. The energy of Jupiter tomorrow feels like a gentle hand resting on your shoulder, whispering, "This is the moment you receive what you truly deserve." And you won't recognize it with your eyes. You'll feel it with your heart. I want you to picture this. Imagine you've been walking down a long road, sometimes uneven, sometimes foggy, sometimes so unclear that you weren't sure it was leading anywhere at all. You kept encouraging yourself, often with nothing more than a tiny spark of hope left in your chest. You held back so many moments when you wanted to give up. You proved your faith by continuing forward, even when no one was standing beside you. And then, you arrive at tomorrow. A day when the invisible suddenly becomes visible. A day when the universe leans close and says, in the softest way, you were never lost. This is the reward for your persistence. Friday the 12th is the day when everything starts to click. Questions that once weighed on your mind begin to find answers. Worries that kept you awake at night finally loosen their grip. The prayers you whispered in silence begin to echo back to you. And you'll be surprised by how gentle the relief feels. Not loud, not overwhelming, but a soft, steady joy. Like the moment you finally exhale after holding your breath for far too long. Let me share something with you. Sincerely. From someone who has watched many souls move through many cycles. The reward is never late. It arrives at the moment it becomes most beautiful. Maybe you've thought you were slower than others. Maybe you've felt like opportunities slipped away, or that you were being left behind. But the truth is subtle. Sagittarius is never forgotten. You are simply held back a little longer, so your gift can reach its fullest form. And tomorrow, Friday, the 12th, is when that gift opens. How many times have you wondered why your path had to be so difficult? Why you had to be strong for so long? Why your faith had to be tested again and again? Tomorrow will be the answer. An answer that doesn't come in words, but in a peace so deep that you'll finally understand. Oh, that's why everything happened. When that moment comes, you won't feel bitterness for what you endured. You'll feel gratitude, because without that long road, you wouldn't be ready for what is arriving now. You may feel your heart soften, as if someone is gently brushing away a thin layer of dust from it. You might even cry, not from pain, but from the realization that you were never abandoned. And if you feel something stirring inside you as I say this, write in the comments, I am ready to step into Sagittarius destiny. Not for the algorithm, but so your soul can acknowledge what your heart has known for a long time. Sometimes, saying it out loud is all it takes to shift the direction of your life. What makes Friday the 12th so extraordinary isn't just the meeting of the Sun and Jupiter. It's how that meeting reflects your journey. Light meeting light. Effort meeting timing. Faith meeting confirmation. If you close your eyes, you might already sense something opening. A door. An opportunity. A sign. A small miracle, quiet yet powerful enough to change the course of an entire chapter of your life. And the most beautiful part is, you don't have to force anything. You only have to open your heart. Right now, let me whisper one last thing to you. Tomorrow, you will finally understand why the road had to be this long. And you will know, you have arrived exactly where you were meant to be. But Friday, the 12th, is only the first doorway. It opens, but behind it lies another journey waiting for you. A journey where not only blessings appear, but where the soul of Sagittarius begins to transform on a deeper level. As this special day approaches, I want you to imagine this. Some doors don't open because of effort. They open because of the silent movement of the sky. And tomorrow, that movement is turning toward you. If you pause for a moment, you may already feel a small shift in the air, as if something is drawing closer. An energy as light as a breath, yet strong enough for your heart to know you're stepping into a new light. I'm not saying this to comfort you. I'm saying it because astrology makes it unmistakably clear. When Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, moves into an opening position, it usually brings three kinds of blessings. Each one, like a separate ray of light touching a different part of your soul. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need all three. Even one is enough to make tomorrow unforgettable. Some Sagittarians will receive financial blessings first. Others will receive a message or communication. And some may not receive anything physical at all, but instead, a sign from the unseen world. And that sign alone can transform their entire life. You've lived with kindness for so long. You've given more than you've taken. And the universe quietly, faithfully has been keeping track of every bit of it. So tomorrow, open your heart just a little. Because what is coming to you is not luck. It is the harvest of every good seed you've ever planted. If you're hoping for a sense of financial relief, know that Jupiter is opening the flow of abundance in your favor. Opening doesn't mean you suddenly become rich. It means something that was stuck begins to move again. Paperwork you've been worried about finally shows signs of progress. A sum of money you didn't dare hope for suddenly appears. An opportunity you thought was out of reach gently opens. And what touches me most is this: when financial blessings come to Sagittarius, they never arrive with flash or noise. They come as an exhale, a reassurance, a quiet message that everything you sacrificed, everything you carried, is finally being returned to you in a soft, deserving way. Not because you're lucky, not because someone favors you, but because you've lived well enough, long enough, to deserve something better. And for those of you waiting for a sign through communication, a message, an email, a call, let your heart stay open. Some doors you thought were closed forever were never closed. They were simply waiting for the right moment. And the 12th is one of those moments. I know there were times you stared at your phone and sighed, times you checked your email with hope, only to feel disappointment settle in, times you heard your ringtone, and your heart dipped because it wasn't the person you wished it would be. But listen, every silence has a purpose. Sometimes, delay is the universe protecting you from something not yet ready. Tomorrow, that readiness may finally arrive. A small message yet bright enough to light your entire inner world. A single sentence, enough to erase months of uncertainty. A phone call, opening a chapter you thought you no longer had the chance to touch. Let your heart soften a little. Blessings don't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes they arrive with simple words like, "We've reviewed your file and approved it," or "I've been thinking about this for a long time," or "Are you available to talk more?" Those simple lines can be the turning point of an entire life. And if your good news doesn't come through money or communication, it may arrive through the channel only sensitive souls notice. The spiritual and intuitive path. You may have a strange dream, not chaotic, but the kind that wakes you with a knowing that you're being guided, a knowing you're not on the wrong path, a knowing that the prayer you've whispered for so long is finally finding its way to you. Or you might see a sign, a repeating number, a sentence that lands straight in your heart, a song that plays at the perfect moment, carrying the message you needed, a feeling so strong you stop for a moment just to breathe it in. And that moment may bring tears, not from pain, but from the realization that you were never walking this journey alone. Some people say spiritual signs are coincidences, but those who have known those like Sagittarius understand one thing: nothing is random. The universe speaks in many languages. Tomorrow, it will speak in the one your heart hears most clearly. Whether it arrives as money, communication, or intuition, the good news of tomorrow carries the same essence. It comes to remind you that the light inside you has never gone out. And as you listen now, let your heart ask this gently: what am I hoping for the most? Write it in the comments as a way of sending a signal upward. The good news I've been waiting for is coming closer to Sagittarius. Words carry energy, and tomorrow, that energy will be answered. But the true miracle still isn't here yet. Good news is only the first doorway. What matters most is why it arrives now, at this exact moment, when you're standing between the last page of an old chapter and the first line of a brand new one. To understand why the universe chose tomorrow to place this gift into your hands, we need to go deeper into the transformation waiting for Sagittarius. There are wishes in life that we never say out loud, yet they follow us like a note of music that has never been played to the end. And for Sagittarius, that unspoken wish isn't money, isn't fame, isn't the dramatic kind of success. Your deepest wish is to be seen, to be truly seen, by someone, by life, by the sky above, to be recognized for how deeply you love, how much effort you give, how patiently and quietly you've carried strength through storms no one witnessed. You give so much, and you never ask for anything in return. But even the kindest hearts whisper to themselves sometimes, "Does anyone notice me?" And that is why tomorrow is so indescribably powerful. Tomorrow isn't just about good news. Tomorrow brings recognition, a recognition your Sagittarius heart has been longing for. You have been loved. You have been needed. But being seen, that is something different. It isn't loud. It isn't showy. It doesn't come from applause or big rewards. It comes from the quiet knowing that finally someone, or something greater, truly sees who you are, sees the beauty of your soul, sees how your heart has endured and grown. When you feel seen, you stop questioning whether you're good enough. You stop doubting the gentleness inside you. You begin to understand that every sacrifice, every wound, every sleepless night that once made it hard to breathe, is now being placed exactly where it belongs. Tomorrow, Sagittarius will experience a moment that some people wait their whole lives for. A moment when you finally feel chosen. Not chosen to carry responsibility, not chosen to sacrifice, but chosen to receive something good. Chosen to step into a new chapter where the light walks before you, not the darkness. Chosen to receive what the universe has been saving, just for you. Maybe it's a message that makes your hands shake. Maybe it's a phone call that breaks your heart open. Maybe it's just a sign, a feeling, a quiet moment when you suddenly understand, finally, I'm being answered. And that moment will touch a place deep inside you. The place where you hid your disappointments, your unanswered questions, your quiet pain. The place where you held yourself when no one else did. The place where you learned to smile, even when your heart was breaking. But tomorrow, you won't smile in loneliness anymore. You will smile because you are seen, because you are chosen, because you are finally being placed in a position that matches your worth, not because you are perfect, but because you have been kind, even when life was not kind to you. I want you to hear this with your whole heart. Every Sagittarius soul is a teacher of faith. You show others how to rise after falling. You show others how to believe in good things, even when there is no sign they're coming. You show others how to open their hearts, even after they've been hurt. People who can teach that are never weak. They are souls who have walked through darkness long enough to bring back a flame. And tonight, that flame is in your hand. Tomorrow, you will finally understand why you had to carry it for so long. If your heart feels the truth in my words, write this in the comments. I deserve to be seen. I deserve to be chosen. This is not just an affirmation. It is a doorway, a key, a signal to the sky that you are ready for the destiny opening before you. But remember, Friday the 12th does not only bring good news or recognition. Behind all of that lies something bigger, something that will show you your life is entering a turning point you cannot go back from. A turning point your soul has been prepared for. Quietly, for years. There are moments in life that don't need explanation. When they arrive, your heart simply knows, and Friday the 12th is one of those moments, a moment the heavens wrote just for Sagittarius. It will feel as if someone gently opened a door inside you and let the light walk in, slowly, lovingly, clearly. When Jupiter activates the 9th house, the house of truth, faith, philosophy, and spiritual expansion, something always happens. You begin to see yourself with new eyes, not as someone afraid, or uncertain, or full of unanswered questions, but as a version of yourself you once thought would take years to reach. The 9th house is where the soul learns to grow. Not the kind of growth forced by life, but the kind that rises from within. Growth born from understanding, from clarity, from a deep trust in what you cannot touch, but can feel every single day. And when this energy moves, the fog lifts. You will see your purpose clearly. Even if you once felt lost, you will feel where you belong. Even if you doubted you had a place to call home, you will understand what truly matters. Even if life once distracted you with small, noisy things. And most importantly, you will feel how God, or whatever name you give the divine, is placing you into a new chapter, brighter, clearer, timed, perfectly. Soul upgrades never arrive with fireworks. They come as a gentle shift inside the heart. So gentle that if you're not paying attention, you might think it's nothing, but it's not nothing. It is the moment your soul moves, away from old stories, away from limiting beliefs, away from wounds that once held you small. And when that shift happens, your world begins to brighten in places you thought would stay dark forever. You'll realize you no longer want to fight for what doesn't belong to you. You no longer want to hold on to things that don't help your spirit grow. You no longer need to prove anything to people who cannot see your value. You will feel lighter. Not because life becomes easy, but because your heart becomes wiser. Lighter in a way that your actions come from clarity, not pain. Lighter in a way that makes you grateful even for what once hurt you. Because now, those things have become teachers. And that is the turning point. A turning point only souls with deep spiritual maturity can truly recognize. Real growth doesn't happen when you win. It happens when you finally understand why you once fell. Maybe you've asked yourself, why did that happen to me? Why did I have to carry so much? Why am I always the one learning the hardest lessons? Tomorrow, when Jupiter touches the soul of Sagittarius, you won't need those questions anymore, because you will hear your heart whisper, so that's why everything happened. Not as an excuse for your pain, not as a way to erase what you went through, but as a reason, a truth, showing you that every challenge brought you closer to the most beautiful version of yourself. Every moment that once made you cry becomes wisdom today. Every time you thought you were left behind becomes motivation. Every door that once closed opens now in ways you never imagined possible. When the soul upgrades, the shift is profound. You no longer fear losing what was never yours. You no longer chase things that don't nourish your heart. You no longer feel lonely. Even when you are alone, you begin to understand that God never took his eyes off you. He was leading you through a necessary valley, so your heart could become big enough, deep enough, strong enough to receive what he has been preparing for you. Tomorrow, your soul will step into a very special kind of peace. Not the peace that comes from everything going right, but the peace born from understanding. The peace of knowing, I am exactly where I'm meant to be. In the right moment, in the right chapter. And when that peace expands inside you, the world outside begins to shift as well. People who no longer belong will drift away gently. Opportunities that fit your path will arrive right on time. And the blessings you once thought were out of reach will walk into your life as if they've been waiting for you all along. The ninth house doesn't just bring clarity, it opens a journey, a path where you no longer walk as the old version of yourself, the one who doubted, the one who hurt, the one who struggled to survive. You become the version who knows who you are, what you deserve, and where you're going. And the moment you look back and softly say, so that long road was bringing me here, that is the sign. Your soul has entered a higher level. A new Sagittarius is being born. If something inside you feels touched as you hear this, write in the comments, I am ready for the turning point of my Sagittarius soul. Because the moment you acknowledge it, tomorrow's energy will open faster, deeper, stronger for you. But this turning point is only the beginning. The most important part lies in what the universe will continue to send afterward. The messages, the signals, the doors even bigger than the ones opening now. Some messages are never written down, never spoken aloud, yet they echo clearly inside those who are standing at a sacred crossroads. And today, as the universe leans gently towards Sagittarius, there is one sentence the sky wants you to hear slowly, deeply. Do not fear what you cannot control. Trust what you are being led toward. Sometimes fear doesn't come from the dark. It comes from not knowing what lies ahead. Sagittarius is the sign of faith, but you are also a soul who feels deeply, and deep hearts feel pain more sharply when life slips out of their hands. You love freedom, yet you carry a loyal heart. And because you are loyal, you hurt more. Because you are deep, you fear loss more. Because you believe so fully, you fall harder than others. But the universe wants you to understand this. You were not born to control everything. You were born to be guided to what is meant for you. And sometimes that guidance isn't gentle. It comes through letting go, through dreams that break, through doors that close just when you needed a miracle. Yet, in those very moments, the ones that feel darkest, another path opens. A path you simply couldn't see because your eyes were still fixed on the pain. Life is not about running from suffering. Life is about finding meaning inside the very things that once hurt you. Because without the days you struggled to stand, would you see the world now with this depth, this calm, This compassion? I believe you've grown in ways even you haven't realized. You didn't grow from victory. You grew from falling and choosing to rise. You grew from being misunderstood and choosing to love anyway. You grew from lonely nights and still choosing hope. And that is why the universe whispers to you today. You are strong enough. You are bright enough. You are steady enough. Stop doubting yourself, Sagittarius. You have lived through things that would have made others give up. Yet here you are, still walking, still believing, still carrying light. That isn't innocence. That is courage. And sometimes, the greatest courage isn't fighting the world, but continuing to trust yourself. You don't need to know everything. You only need to know this. A greater force is arranging your path. An unseen hand is opening the way. A warm presence is holding you in the moments you feel weakest. You may not see it, but you can feel it. And your soul is recognizing it more clearly than ever. If these words make your heart tremble even a little, if you feel something in this message belongs to you, leave a heart in the comments. Not for me, not for the algorithm, but so the universe knows you are ready to step into your new chapter. Because the moment you send that signal, the next door will open. And then, I will tell you what waits ahead. Something that carries not only hope, but the promise of destiny. And when you slow your breath, even just a little, you'll realize that Friday, the 12th, is not the end of the miracle. It's only the first sign, the opening note in a symphony the universe is composing just for you. Because everything that happens tomorrow is only the beginning of something bigger making its way toward you. A chapter I call the golden opening. From the 12th to the 19th, the sky forms a rare band of energy, as if every door that once closed on you is preparing to open again. Every area of your life, your finances, your spirit, your career, your relationships, your personal dreams, all of them begin to bloom in ways that feel natural, yet powerful. You will feel as if you've stepped into a brighter field of light, a place you used to imagine, but never fully believed you would enter. A field where everything suddenly becomes clearer, where decisions feel easier, where old dreams, the ones you almost gave up on, feel close enough to touch. And if something inside you is rising right now, a sense that you are standing at the edge of something extraordinary, you're absolutely right. Your soul is recognizing what your mind hasn't yet named. The subtle shifts you've felt recently are not coincidences. They are signs that you are about to enter the most beautiful chapter of the Sagittarius journey. In the next video, I will guide you through each day from the 12th to the 19th, why this period is called the golden opening, why it affects Sagittarius more powerfully than any other sign, and what you can do to receive every drop of energy moving toward you hour by hour. If your heart is beating a little faster as you hear this, if you feel you've been waiting for this moment for far too long, if you know deep down that your story is turning a brand new page, then the next part will show you the entire picture the sky has painted for you. And so you don't miss any whisper the universe is sending your way. Please like and subscribe, not for numbers, but to keep this connection alive. If this message brought you comfort, hope, or a little light, share it with someone who needs a gentle reminder from life. The journey isn't over, Sagittarius, and the most beautiful part is still ahead of you.